So this is how I got directional bias for Bitcoin last week. If this video is coming, I don't know when this video is going to come out. Probably it's going to be weeks after. But this is just the idea of how to get bias. So this is how I got bias on BTC. First, I knew price was in a downtrend, the direction of the market. So when we saw price broke this structure here, this particular structure, I was expecting a quick move upwards, that is for price to fill this zone, to come back into a zone, then react from that zone, then continue downwards. Because I know that overall, we were bearish overall. I saw people online were saying bullish, 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 that they were bullish. People were saying, okay, the low has been formed, low has been formed. I was just looking at them and laughing because obviously I saw that there are still lower levels for price to take out before price could go higher. There are lower levels here. There's also a zone here which I'm looking forward to. Though people will say I'm delusional, but I'm still looking forward for this zone because overall on a monthly time frame when I did analysis, this was the lowest level price may likely get to, and something around this level. This is the lowest price will get to before price continues higher. So when I got over, obviously I know that price is going to sell. There's nothing you could do about it. Price was going to sell. So I saw when this week was over, I expected a new week to start. When the new week was about to start, I marked this zone on a weekly time frame. So, and a weekly time frame is higher than a daily time frame. So the weekly time frame shows me that okay, this is a confirmation that this is a strong sell projection. When I saw this, I moved to the daily time frame to look for refinements. I saw that okay, in the daily time frame, there's also an breaker block. In fact, there was two breaker block zones here. It's now acted as a support zone. So is now a key level and a very good key level because there are two breaker blocks. In fact, if you check it well, there are almost three, but this ones are mitigated though. I have to pick this one as this is the recent one. But I saw this level as a good zones, and there's a concept people use to, I think it's called rejection block, right? But I don't use that concept. The price pulls into the last week, it reacts. It's just normal theory of break and retest. Price breaks, pull back into a zone that it broke from, then continue downwards. So when I saw this trade, I was expecting a sell. From here, then I moved to the 1 hour. Though I did not even wait for the 1 hour. This was the other block I used because I knew price was going to sell from there. They say that's a bad habit though, but I knew obviously the price was going to sell for it. So I used this breaker block here. I used this other block here to enter my first entry. I did not even wait for a market structure, a reversal concept. That is the market structure shift. I used that position. Then next, I waited for a market structure shift after I have taken my first entry. Then went for the second entry, which was this position here. Then the third entry, unfortunately, I was not able to enter because I cheated. Right, I cheated out of the market, which was this position here. Yeah, this current one, this zone, which was this point. A breaker block was here. The price reacted from, and I'm going to show you. I think I will show you confirmation on. In fact, let me pull it out. I'm coming. Let me see if I can get it on my Telegram. No, not screenshots. I'm just going to add it as an overlay to this video. I'll add it as an overlay. I took the position downwards. I did not enter this one because I was a jitter. I even jittered the position I entered because I listened to what people were saying. Now, and mind me, I already saw the market going downward. I projected from a weekly standpoint that the market is going to sell until it takes out this overall liquidity. Because now I knew the direction of the market and I knew the state of the market, the move that the market was making in direction, that the market was making a correctional move. So a correctional move cannot pull back so much into to take out the last high. So I was expecting it to react from a higher time frame point of interest. When it got to that time frame point of interest, I took the sell but jittered out because what people were saying online. And I saw some of my OGs, my mentors, they were taking buy positions. So I felt like, oh, who am I that I'm taking sell position? These guys are literally taking buy position. Why am I not taking sell position? Oh, I'm going to get stopped out. But guess what? The market does not respect your mentor or anybody. The market goes to the direction it's going to go to. And if you start from a weekly time frame, in fact, most of our mentors or people we admire, we look upon so much, don't start from a weekly time frame. Where they start from is just a daily. Some even start from a 4 hour. So they don't have the original view or the main view of the market. But I started from a weekly time frame. Even got I got extra confluence, which was a CRT. I used CRT coupled with an SLP concept. This was the CRT candle here. This was the range candle. Then this candle manipulated. Well, this was the week, all the week through. But I was trading this candle, this particular candle here. So it was complicated. And price, there was this saying, everybody will say, oh, price, they are massive, there is a gap higher. Price has to pull back there before price. But I ignored. So I jittered around this zone, but I took the trade. I took my first entry from this side. I'm not kidding. I took the first entry because I knew price was going to sell from this higher time frame. It was a weekly coupled with a, so it was like a weekly X, a daily breaker block, and it's definitely going to work. Most of the time, I've backlisted through. Whenever you see two higher time frame point of interest aligning together, and the direction is aligning also with the direction, price will likely react from that zone. Price will most time react from that zone. So I saw it, but still, because of my mentor and everything, I jittered, which was a bad, a bad thing to do because is a very bad thing to do. So, but I've learned, and I will learn to focus more on myself. But this is how I got directional bias for Bitcoin sales. See, and if you see, it went lower to take out the overall low. Yeah. And funny enough, when I started looking for entries, price kept leaving me until I don't know. See, it left me from me. I was hoping that price is going to come to this breaker block here with a position. I opened the position on MT5. Price left me and went because I ignored my first and most important rule, that don't pay attention to what other people say. Take your trade. Either if it results in a loss, you are going to learn for it. But if it results in a profit, you make money. So take your trade. When you've analyzed and you've gotten the direction of the market, take that trade and take it very fast. So that's all for today's. And this is how I got my direction for Bitcoin.